If you're a heat and air machine technician or even a salesperson, what's a strong, solid piece of advice for you going into the summer, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so there are cycles to the heating and air trend in home services, and I'm going to give you roughly what Sacramento's is. You're going to have to modify to make it your own, depending upon the state and the jurisdiction you're in. In Sacramento, summer starts typically somewhere around early May and ends about August. And so what happens is you run a ton of sales calls. And so to get to the next call, you speed up because there's an abundance of leads. And where there's an abundance of leads, you're like, hey, here's what I can do. I can just get to the next call. And so it takes a lot of focus to say, hey, look, whatever I do going into the summer and however I carry myself through the summer is really going to set up my fall, meaning the next season, not like fall down, but the next season, okay? And the reason this is super important is, like, here's what normally happens. Tons of leads, speed through, get to the end of summer, and then you're like, why can't I close deals? Why can't I set leads? Why can't I sell parts? Well, it's because you use the summer as a crutch. You use the weather as a crutch. And because of that, now it's making it super hard for you to communicate persuasively, for you to do a text set lead, for you to close a deal, because there's no more sense of urgency. Sure, it's warm. It's not as uncomfortable as it was at the height of the season. And so if you play how you practice and you practice how you play, then you also have to realize that going into your summer is really going to set up the rest of the season for you. So if you want to be good and you want to find success for the entire year, you do the same exact presentation the entire time, even if it takes you a couple of extra minutes per call. And this right here is why you should join my email publication, HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not a YouTube channel. And so, like, here's the common complaint. Hey, Scott, I'm going to get home late. Yeah, that's part of the industry. Scott, I'm going to have to take a bunch of calls. Yeah, that's part of the industry. But if you're maximizing your call and you're saying, hey, look, if I run 6 calls and I spend 10 extra minutes on each one of those calls and I close more deals, it's better for you, whether it's parts or pieces or whether it's entire systems. Because here's what's going to happen. It's going to slow down. The weather's going to change. And then you're going to have to go back to using whatever. You'll get out of shape. That's the easiest way to say it. Don't get out of shape in sales. You want to make sure that you stay in shape through the entire year. So the way that you do this is you could work off of a checklist. You could record your presentation right now. Like, this is always a good thing to do. You record a presentation when you're on the top, and you record a presentation on the bottom. You have them transcribed in something like Otter.ai. Go out and build a checklist. And then you could say, hey, look, here's the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Here's my presentation. And if you step off of that, 1 time, it's like, well, I'm not too far off track. 2 times, well, I'm not really too far off track. By the 100th time, you're really far off track and you can't remember where you were. So make sure that you're taking time today to map out what your process looks like. What are you supposed to do? Right? Like, everybody's got a little bit different process. Everybody's got a little bit different recipe. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But be aware that your spring will set up your summer summer will set up your fall will set up your winter will set up your spring. And if you recognize this and you understand this at a very high level, or even at a low level, it doesn't have to be high level, even at a low level, you can make sure that you're consistent year round. And a good coach, a good mentor is going to tell you, hey, time out. Like, look, at the beginning, right here, at the beginning of summer, pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to your sales process. Make sure you're not taking out steps. Make sure that you are actually doing everything you're supposed to do. I want to make sure to reinforce this as much as I can, because it's not uncommon to get the panic phone calls from business owners in August and September saying, hey, my guys aren't setting leads. It's because they were relying on the weather and not relying on their skills. There you go. Make sure that you're reinforcing your skills on a daily basis and you're not taking that shortcut like the rest of the industry. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here, just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.